Today in Taipei, a dramatic courtroom decision sends shockwaves through the city. I'm Garrett.
And I'm Leah. Welcome to Laid Back Local, the news of the day, with Leah and Garrett in Taipei.
First up, a Taiwanese woman has been sentenced to over 11 years for the attempted murder of an Australian student. The court ruled that Yang Qinping, a Taipei resident, repeatedly poisoned Australian exchange student Alex Shorey in 2023 using rat poison. The judges called it premeditated, meaning planned ahead of time. Shorey suffered severe symptoms and ultimately went back to Australia in May 2023 for further treatment. He has also filed a civil claim for damages. Yang denies the poisoning and says prosecutors fabricated the case, but the conviction stands with a sentence of 11 years and 2 months.
That's so wild. The part that really sticks with me is the lack of remorse. Repeated poisoning while seeing someone you know suffer is beyond chilling. It also raises, those cross-border questions. When someone from overseas is harmed here, the legal process can feel extra complicated because different cultures and systems collide. Why do you think the sentence landed where it did, Garrett? Was it mainly the repeated nature of it?
Yeah, that checks out. The court emphasized premeditation and multiple poisonings, which typically increases severity. Basically, the idea is the repeated acts showed ongoing intent and disregard for life. That combination tends to push sentences higher in serious violent offenses.
Next up, Taiwan's municipalities rally for stricter food safety laws amid a major oil contamination scandal. At a cabinet meeting led by Chen Shih-chung, a minister without portfolio who coordinates cross-ministry work, the 6 special municipalities backed amendments to the Food Safety Act. The focus is fixing systemic weak spots. They talked source management, which is tracing where ingredients come from, process oversight, which means checking every step from factory to shelf, and digital governance, using tech tools like databases and QR codes to track and audit in real time. The changes are moving faster because of the Central Union Oil contaminated cooking oil case.
That's a solid point. And local governments being hands-on matters a lot. Municipal health and inspection teams are the folks who actually show up at factories and kitchens. If they have stronger rules, clearer risk categories, and digital tools, they can zero in on higher-risk businesses faster and keep bad products off the shelves.
Why not just centralize it all at the national level, though?
Because the boots on the ground are municipal. They see patterns in local markets, spot risky operators nearby, and can act quickly. The national rules set the framework, but city and county teams do most of the day-to-day enforcement. So stronger local involvement means faster response when something looks off. Speaking of that, next up, Taiwan's FDA says remaining cooking oil samples from Central Union Oil have cleared inspection. Central Union Oil, a domestic cooking oil maker, had earlier samples with excessive benzopyrene, which is a carcinogen. In simple terms, a chemical that can increase cancer risk when oils are overheated or contaminated. Now, the FDA says all the previously untested samples from April to June met standards. An independent investigation into the company's processes is still underway, and the FDA plans to push amendments to tighten rules and increase checks for high-risk manufacturers. It all underscores the need for better traceability, meaning you can follow a product's life story from source to store.
Honestly, that's a twist. Earlier batches failed, but these later ones pass. Good news for now, but it has to be followed by rigorous, and I mean frequent, inspections. The whole timeline should be transparent so people can trust what's on their shelves. And, those digital audits we mentioned would make it way easier to flag problems before they spread. Why do you think the later samples passed? Different process or just a different batch?
Could be any of those, but we should let the investigation speak. Sometimes a company adjusts heat settings or sourcing after a scare. Sometimes it's batch variability. Until the independent probe reports out, the safe takeaway is that tighter oversight and traceability are the best guardrails.
Next up, a defense analyst reports China testing new gray zone tactics near Taiwan, signaling potential escalation. Chie Chung, a defense analyst who studies military behavior in the region, noted a Chinese helicopter flew for an extended period over the Taiwan Strait median line, and there may have been a joint exercise with a drone. Taiwan's Ministry of National Defense, or MND, detected multiple activities during July 18 to 19. Gray zone tactics means pressure moves below the level of open conflict, like intrusions or harassment, to wear down defenses and normalize presence.
That's a curveball. The median line is the informal halfway mark in the strait, kind of a practical boundary to reduce risk. A long helicopter flight east of that, especially near areas Taiwan treats as restricted for safety, is an escalation without firing a shot. Vigilance matters here, because the concern is these become routine, and routines can shift the status quo over time.
Why is a helicopter lingering in that space such a big signal compared with, say, a quick crossing?
Duration matters. A brief pass tests a reaction. A prolonged flight suggests practicing patterns, coordination, maybe even probing radar coverage. It nudges the line of normal behavior. That's the gray zone playbook. Push, pause, and push again without crossing into outright conflict. Last up, switching gears, New Taipei City plans a massive dome arena in Shulin, with construction expected to start in 2032. The site is the Shulin-Jiwu Industrial Zone. We're talking a 50,000-seat stadium, plus a shopping mall, hotel, and leisure spaces. The city says it chose Shulin for better environmental conditions, transportation sustainability, and the area's development potential. It's near the planned MRT Wanda-Zhonghe-Shulin line, which should help with access. The broader vision is a dome district that blends sports, commerce, and recreation across more than 100 hectares, including a 23-hectare industrial sports park.
I love the comprehensive planning. If the transport links are robust, that eases crowd surges and keeps traffic manageable. And the mixed-use idea means year-round activity, not just on game days. Why 2032, though? That feels far away.
Big builds take time, design, environmental reviews, land use coordination, and, making the transit puzzle fit. If they sequence it right, the MRT line and district amenities come online in a way that reduces headaches later. Long runway, but if they nail it, the payoff could be huge for Shulin and New Taipei.
All right, that ties it up nicely.
That wraps it up for today in Taipei. Thanks for tuning in to Laid Back Local, the news of the day with Leah and Garrett. Have a great day, and catch us tomorrow for more updates.